make same type of investments. Some people are very quick-tempered. They are scared. They don't want to lose a penny. Others might be accepting a lot of risk to make more gains. So this depends on the person itself. Besides, I do not propose any given stock name or to buy this. Just in general idea about stock exchange, I'm referring to stock almanac, stock traders almanac. So first of all, the idea today is, as you know, we had a very let's say big day yesterday in all U.S. stock exchanges, in gold, silver, and everything else, because due to the consumer price index just showing slightly better results than expected at 4:30 today, Turkish mean time. It's 1:56 right now at afternoon. So in about 2.5 hours today, we are going to get producer prices, PPI. Yesterday we had CPI. Today we will have PPI, which will enable us to see if the same goes through for the wholesale prices or for the producer prices. So this will cement what we seen yesterday, or will doubt, was yesterday fluff. So we'll see that. So based on yesterday's information, the situation just reminded me. I made a similar video in Turkish this morning, but this is for the international audience, including Turkish audience. The stocks are told by people, it's a well-known motto, just like I put in the cover of the video: sell in May, go away. So because why? Nothing much happens after May, 1st of May. So you just wait. But that's a very well-known motto. But nobody says, okay, I saw, when do I come back? When do I come back? You said sell in May, go away. So I did. So what do I do? Okay, now I want you to remember the new motto is remember to buy back in November. Okay, this is the new motto. Remember to buy in November. Why is this? Okay, according to Stock Advisors Almanac, they made a research. The research shows that if you had 73 years ago, in 1950, if you had 10,000 US dollars, of course, 10,000 US dollars of 1950 is much, much, much more valuable than the US dollar today. So, in any case, you invested with $10,000. We are not going to compare it with today's inflation. We are comparing it to 1950 versus 1950. What happened was they checked the seasonality and the cycles of the investing in S&P and American stock exchanges. What they found out, if you had invested after May all the way through beginning of November or end of October, you only made 1,000 US dollars in 73 years, okay? However, if you invested after 1st of November, remember November, okay, then you made until end of February, that's the November, December, and January are the best 3 months. Then the following 3 months, February, March, and April, are also good, but not as good as the first 3 months. So this is also called the Christmas rally, or so New Year rally. That's it repeats itself very frequently. Okay, there are no guarantees it's going to repeat this year, because same cycle observed in gold as well. The months from November to April are the best months. 10 out of 8, let's say, best months for gold are also at the similar months. So they coincide. So, are you going to sell your gold to go for the US stocks? Or, well, it's up to you. I'm just informing what the Almanac says. So, what they did when they invested the following, the 6 months, which is advised by the Almanac, instead of making 1,000 US dollars, in the same 6 months, they made more than $1 million in 73 years. So there is some discrepancy, big difference. Huh? So right now, this year also began with November performing very good. With yesterday's information, stocks made a huge move in both Nasdaq, S&P, but it wasn't the only day. We had few days stocks being started to perform better. But I remember thinking of the last year from 2022, I also entered in December Nasdaq fund and US mutual funds in Turkey. And I observed that they went up 38 to 40%, depending on what time you are taking, in US dollar terms, in the following months until April. And mutual funds also made very good money in that time. I'm not talking, this is for an American. If you are Turkish, there is additional bonus sometimes. What happens is, because the foreign currency prices are suppressed, going to elections, last year was also same. This year is also same. Last year was general elections and presidential elections. This year we have local municipality elections at the end of March. So people are they don't really care about euro prices, but people are depositing a lot of money in US dollars. In fact, US dollar accounts in the banks exceeded the Turkish lira accounts. So you can imagine the size of the investment idea by Turkish people, because they believe in the US dollar, not really because it's a little safer than it is safer than in terms of inflation, because we can have inflation of 80, 90, 100%, whereas US inflation reported officially was 9% at the highest. And we have about 100, 130, arguable, between different agencies. US inflation is also arguable. Some people say you just multiply that by 2, according to shadow stats. So right now, this gives us a decision-making idea. Shall I now start? We are in November, in the 15th of November. Maybe we should have started last week, but if you missed it, it's not a big miss, because it's not just 2%, 3% this thing's going to move. It's going to come down, up and down. And of course, because of the news that Fed may decrease the interest rates, today, if we get another reading from the PPI, the opposite, maybe you'll have good, cheaper prices to buy today. So this is not a one-day thing. This is a long-term, and especially in Russell 2000, which contains not just the Nasdaq and S&P selected, it's a 2,000 companies. Yesterday, it performed like 5-6% above during the session. So it was a huge move on the Russell 2000. I'm not giving the numbers. You can always check from, you just enter Nasdaq or Russell 2000 and you'll see what they were yesterday, because today it's obsolete. Now, markets are, let's say, figuring out how prices will be going today. It's already bought and sold in the closed pre-market, okay? So new prices are in action right now. In the meantime, we know the gold prices are going up. It's in terms of ounces, the gold price is right now 1973.57. So we can say only $26 left to reach the 2000 level again. Bigger move is in silver. it's selling at $23.40 an ounce. I will not mention for the Turkish values for now, but they are also increasing both in Turkish TL and US dollar rate effect. On top of it, Turkish lira is not, because it's being suppressed, it's not responding correctly, because normally when gold prices go up, US dollar falls in value, but in Turkey they are now both increasing at the same time, which is not normal. Okay, normally one should go up, the other should come down in all other currencies, but Turkish lira has some specific, sticks moving the thing. They are just playing around with it. So in any way, this is the main idea of this video. Should you start investing? If you were out in the, it may go away. When should you come back? And another thing about this year, not just this month thing, there is another observation. I'd like to mention that the best years for these 6 months is the last 2 years of the presidential cycle. The first 2 years of the presidential cycles, the new president can apply corrective actions because he is already elected. So he can just he has time to correct things, maybe, increase interest rates and, which people don't like, lose jobs, go through a little bit of recession. But as the elections are getting nearer, they are getting much, let's say, abundant in giving out, okay, to get the votes in time. So what happens during the last and third and fourth years of the election? These 6 months from November to April, end of April, are even better than the previous years. So we will observe, we'll probably know it all by end of April, how this year, if the Almanac worked correctly for 2023-2024 season, because this is all guesswork, cycles are just statistical. So, but there are reasons, many things are matching. There is another thing I like to warn you. You normally think when Fed decreases the interest rates, it's normal. People can invest more in equities, which is normal. But there is a danger. Let me explain the danger. Why in April or March there may be a danger. There is always overbuying and overselling. Okay, the gold sometimes. If gold suddenly shoots up to $2,300 an ounce, let's say in 2 days, it's definitely going to come back to make a correction. So correction may go down to 2,100. We don't know. Same happens in US stocks. We can see a lot higher, and you may just be waiting to see more and more. It's a known fact that when Fed officially decreases the interest rates, right at that time, stocks fall like a man falling from sky without a parachute. Huge drops at that time. Why? The reason is opposite. The government is paying a lot less interest. Why are they falling? Because they are overbought. Okay, so you must make the timing here also perfect timing. So okay, you can enjoy this, let's say, travel going higher and higher in the bull market. Okay, then, however, you should be careful if you're going to leave the market. It's about right time, very correct time, because this type of Fed squeeze and Fed release things do not happen every year. This year is specific. Currently, according to economists voting, they are expecting so far, before the Fed meeting, dot plot requirements by the members. The the market economists expect the rates will be starting to decrease in July 2024. This is the most recent guess. Okay, depending on what PPI comes, next month's values come before next meeting, but Fed will continue their hawkish look. They cannot just say, oh, okay, it's over, let's go, folks. Don't ever expect that, because I expect the inflation in US to go much higher, just opposite of Fed is expecting. And I have a reason for this, because when US dollar, DXY, value of US dollar against the main currencies, the top one is euros, 57% in that basket. There are also British pounds, Japanese yens, Swiss francs. So this is a mixture of like 7 currencies. Now, US dollar started losing value. It fell under 104 this morning. I didn't check it currently. Let me check it for you. For me, it's the most important indicator. It's slightly above 104, 104.05. But again, we may observe this according to PPI. If PPI, producer price index, comes very low as well in inflation, this may go well below 104 this time. If it doesn't, it may continue going upwards, because they can say, oh no, yesterday was a fake. Fed is going to increase the rates, okay? So these are not sure things in the short run, at least, okay? The cycle is of the long run. We are talking 73 years. But today, tomorrow, day after, well, this may be good opportunities, buying opportunities, because when you're buying mutual funds, you cannot buy instantaneously like ETFs or stocks. You have to give an order at lunchtime, so that at night time, at the closing, 1 or 2 days, they buy it for you. So you basically don't know the price when you're buying it. It may go up 3-4%. It may come down 3-4% if you are lucky at the buying stage. So it's a bit of taking chances, but mutual funds have great advantages in Turkey, because you're only taxed 10% from profits. That's all. Even if you make billions of dollars, you just pay 10% taxes, okay, withholding tax. So that's why they are preferred, because if you had paid the income tax like the US, for ETFs and for stock sales, foreign stock sales, you have to pay taxes from income tax. They can go up to 35-40% of your profits. Here, it's only 10% fixed. So that's why it's very favorable. That's why I invest in mutual funds called Tefas Yatırım Fonları in Turkish, okay? Those are mutual funds. Turkish people are very lucky, because you can buy 50 TL, 100 TL, or let's say $2, $1, $5 worth of mutual funds. In the US, this is not possible, because if you apply for a mutual fund of a company, they tell you the minimum is $2,000 or $5,000, okay? They don't accept with $5, $10 mutual funds. So you're not aware how lucky you are, okay? So anybody interested in mutual funds, Turkish mutual funds, I make about weekly, once or twice, just mutual funds videos, or you can ask me questions in English. If you're a foreigner, Turkish people already know you have to have a TL investment account to buy Turkish mutual funds in any Turkish bank, okay? In one of the Turkish banks, then you can buy any of the mutual funds that are up for sale, unless it requires a 1 million TL. Those are specialty funds. The rest is open to small investors, okay? So you don't have to worry. You don't start with a million TL in the beginning anyway. So it's 20 minutes almost, and I wish all of you a very nice day. I'm reading your remarks at the top chat. I hope you all have a nice day, and greetings to Konya and all the friends as well. We are not as crowded here. We are only 9,090, I think, people, but it's a quick increase. The channel just started less than a month ago, But my Turkish channel, of course, all you know is about 290,000 people. So there is that's why I cannot even look at the chat section. Here it's good, the fewer the people, the fewer people, I can at least tell some remarks here. And so now it's 2:16 p.m. Turkish time. In 2 hours, I will be watching on PPI. Let's see how that number is coming. And you guys watch as well. Before, if you buy gold or something today, make sure you make the 50-50. That's the way I joke about it. You buy 50% before, 50% after. So if there's a drastic move, you average out, okay? Because if you just keep it, oh, I'll wait after, it may be expensive during the day. Of course, it's just a daily issue. If for the long run, it doesn't really matter. But during the day, if you want to make a better purchase, this way you don't take a chance, you get something in the middle. Before the announcement, after the announcement, you get the average, 50-50. Okay, I wish everyone a very nice day for the remaining of this middle of the month, is the 15th. So I will see you all tomorrow at the second half of November. Remember November. Remember November.